Quick, review how to graph 5 different equations by hand quickly. These are the 5 equations right here. And this is part of the Family of Functions series. You will need graph paper, or you can download this PDF and print it. Press pause as needed anytime during this video. We have graph lines with equations in 2 variables that are in 3 different forms. Press pause as needed to review them now. Resume when you're ready. Equations with 1 variable are in 2 different forms. Press pause to review those as needed. Resume when you're ready. So the first one is graph x minus 4y plus 8 equals 0. First, decide which form of the equation is best to use. Pause as needed. Resume when ready. This is standard form. We need to get the equation into this form, and we do that by subtracting 8 from each side. Use the x and y-intercepts method to graph. Pause as needed. Resume when you're ready. The x-intercept occurs when y is 0, so 0 will be substituted for y, and then we solve for x. Negative 8, 0 is 1 point on the graph. The y-intercept occurs when x is equal to 0. Substitute 0 in for x and solve for y. And y turns out to be positive 2. So the point 0, 2 is our y-intercept. 2 points determine a line, so we can draw a unique line through those 2 points, and that's our graph. Second one, graph y equals negative 1/3 times the quantity x minus 5 minus 3. First, decide which form of the equation is best to use. Pause as needed. Resume when you're ready. We decided that point slope form is the best form here. So we need to get this equation into this form. Pause as needed. Resume when ready. Here we need to add 3 to both sides, and then rewrite this plus 3 as a difference, minus negative 3. Go ahead and finish the graph. Pause as needed. Resume when you're ready. So we can go ahead and find the values of these 3 parameters right here. Here we get the point 5, negative 3, so we'll plot that point, 5, negative 3. And then use the slope to find a couple more points. So negative 1/3 could be thought of as down 1, right 3, and also up 1, left 3. Those 3 points are collinear, and we connect them. Next, graph 2x plus 5 equals 0. First, decide which form of the equation is best to use. Pause to do so. Resume when you're ready. This is an equation in just 1 variable, x. Its graph is a vertical line. So we need to solve the equation for x and then graph it. Pause is needed. Resume when you're ready. Solving the equation for x, we'll subtract 5 from each side, divide both sides by 2, and get x is equal to negative 5/2. We like to use intercepts, so I'm going to use an x-intercept here, negative 5/2, 0, or negative 2.5, 0. And since it is a vertical line, we'll just draw a vertical line through that point. Recall that this line has no slope, or we say that the slope is undefined. Next example, y plus 5 equals 5/2 x. Decide which form of the equation is best to use. Pause to do so. Resume when you're ready. We decided slope-intercept form was y equals m times x plus b. We need to get the equation into this form and graph it. So pause is needed. Resume when you're ready. So I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides, and that's already it. That's our equation in slope-intercept form. We can pick out the values for m and the values for b. We start with b equals -5, so the coordinates of the y-intercept are 0, -5, and we plot it. The slope is 5/2, which the change in y is 5, the change in x is 2, which would mean up 5, right 2. Or we could think of it as -5 over -2, and that would be down 5, left 2. The 3 points are collinear, positive slope going uphill from left to right, so we connect the points into the line. Graph 3y equals 12. Decide which form of the equation is best to use. Pause and then resume when you're ready. This is an equation in just one variable, y. Its graph is going to be a horizontal line, and we need to solve the equation for y and then graph it. Pause is needed. Resume when you're ready. Solving for y, we divide both sides by 3 and get y equals 4. We like to use intercepts, so 0, 4 is going to be the y-intercept on this graph. And since it is a horizontal line, we'll just draw that. And a horizontal line, you may recall, has a slope of 0. It has a slope, and it's the number 0. Now you try some. Graph each of these on its own pair of axes. Pause to do these. Resume to check your answers. Now we'll remind you the solutions are on the next slides. The graphs are not explained, so you'll need to pause to look at them. Okay, so pause now. Do each of these 3. And resume to check your answers. So here is the answer for the first one. Pause as needed. Resume when you're ready to see the second answer. Here is the solution for the second one. Press pause to check it out. Resume when you're ready to see the third one. And this is the solution for the fourth one. Press pause as needed, and you'll resume, and we'll be finished.